Okay, guys, welcome to Platform Movie Reviews. And today we are reviewing Glamour Girls. The movie came out early morning of yesterday, 25th. And I don't know, many people have so many reviews online. Yeah, you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, people are just, having different opinions. But this is not the first work we have seen from Play Network Africa, Play Network Productions. Yeah. I just want to ask, have you seen it? Have you seen it? What do you think about the movie, officers?
Yes, I actually saw it yesterday, although I wasn't expecting something too much, but at least, alas, I was totally disappointed. Like, I was watching it and I wasn't feeling anything. I had to screenshot to the end of the movie to know what is actually going on because I could not even focus on the storyline. Like it's you like when you watch a movie, you follow, but I wasn't following at all. I was watching a movie, I was practically not paying attention to it. Like I was just skipping and skipping to the end of it, and then it was totally disappointing.
Okay. How about you, Felicia? What did you expect from the movie? Did you get what you expected?
Okay. For starters, I actually watched it, so I was not skipping at any point, and I paid attention, even though it was also disappointing at the end of the day. Um, I mean, the first thing I wanted to check was, is it just me that doesn't get this thing? So I mean, I had to put it on my status to say what is going on. I mean, I had to share it on the WhatsApp group. Like, has anybody seen this? Maybe someone else will have a different angle because I mean, there was no, it was all over the place, and then, it was the ending was just like the capping all the disappointment, for the movie. So yes, I wouldn't say I was. I mean, I didn't even know that it was Charles of Play until one point in the movie where he had this. He always has this cameo appearance. There was this part where that scene where you had the boxing, and then you had a lady raising this electronic um, this thing they use in the club, right? And saying from Charles of Play to Donna, and so you featured there. So I mean, I just got to know, and then later I had to check that okay, it's actually Charles of Play. So knowing it's Charles of Play and seeing the previous works, you know, um, yeah, I think it's below standard. Let me
Below par,
just
right?
yeah, let me just
So
leave it there.
it brings to question, yeah. So I had the same feeling too when I saw it, and I was like, okay, it is not like the other works we have seen from Play Networks before, talking about living in bondage and Rattlesnake, and then now we now have even Rattlesnake. Then we saw which other one did they do? The one that has to do with Snake Girl. Forgetting
I
the
In a pretty serpent.
Neka the pretty
Sapiens.
serpent. Neka the pretty serpent. Yeah, it was even still better than this. So, but somebody was saying something on Twitter that it 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 asks what were you people expecting? Got other productions that they had gone straight to the cinemas, but this one they did and they went straight to Netflix. That means they knew that it was not up to par, so they just wanted to maybe okay, just let my people go. Let me just release this one, let it just go. Do you guys think the same thing? Do you think would have done very well in cinemas?
So that is it. Okay. Should I allow an officer to go first? Or?
Yes, no. Carry on,
Okay,
carry on.
so carry on.
Okay. Okay. So that's a school of thought, right? It could be true. It's possible that it's also not true, because we know that Netflix, before now, they approach movie producers and strike a deal with them. KOB had gone to the cinemas the first time. The sequel, however, they completely bought it over, as Netflix content. So we don't really know what could have happened. So it's possible. However, I also feel that it's also possible that it was meant to be a Netflix thing from the start. I mean, we've seen other Netflix productions, so we can't say that cinema standard is above Netflix standard. because there are Netflix movies that are Netflix is supposed to be, prim and proper. We've seen other productions that are great, So that's a school of thought. It could be true, it's Twitter. People come up with all sorts of conspiracy theories, but yeah, there's really
Okay,
nothing to
so I
say
have
on that.
anything.
Okay, for me, I really do not think because they did they were thinking, okay, they didn't do a proper job and then they just let it on Netflix. I actually feel like, okay, we've seen many productions apart from Chance of Play. We see other productions and they take to the cinema and then people use their money to watch and they come back disappointed. Like, what is this? Like we've seen too many in Nollywood. Too many movies that they take to the cinema and it's just nothing. So I don't really think it's because it's not the production is not so much more. That was why they put it on Netflix. At least Netflix movie is supposed to be a movie that is actually, as in maybe how will I put it, like Netflix itself would have seen the storyline. I mean, look at the cast before they would try to like onboard that kind of movie on their platform, right?
I get you.
So so
I
so
get
so
you.
so just another thing to note, right, is it makes it sound like Netflix is a dumping ground for low quality content, which is
I
which
was
is
about
wrong.
to ask that
Um,
question now.
you might also want to. I mean, we have some info. I won't mention the name. That's, I mean, one of the people on the production crew, actually works for Netflix, Nigeria. So I don't think it is the story really would the theory holds any water, to be honest. So because you have someone that worked in Netflix, of course, name withheld, that was also um, part of the production and team of that movie. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, that aside now, moving on. What is your best? Who was your best act in worst act in the scene? But very well.
So
Don't have to put
Sharon, it was Sharon. Well, she at least for her, she played a part well. She was okay. Like her, I like her character. She Her character is not someone that fakes it, even with all the glamour, the glitters and everything. She was still herself, and then she was like, okay, I'm this original girl from this place, and then this is who I am, regardless.
so Sharon killed her act, right?
Yes, I like her character and I like how she played it.
So was Sharon the only standard performance?
You said?
Was Sharon the only standout performer for you?
Okay, I kind of like Nse's part too, but I felt like she was doing too much. I don't know. For my own opinion
This
though.
is this much. Ah, Oloru. Yay. That's my best
No,
act,
I said in
please.
my own opinion, Steven doesn't just generalize it
Is
that
our
was how she
is
was
our
doing the
opinion
part.
now.
I know.
This my own
I'm just shocked.
my own opinion though.
Okay. Okay, Felicia,
Okay.
what was the best act?
Um, I mean, I was hoping that we would even, enter this movie small and properly vent before we start talking about the
Okay,
cast,
okay,
but
okay.
it's fine.
Okay, vent. What do you
No, it's not really a vent, per se, but I mean, I just think, so let me answer the question first. I would, of course, anytime, any day, we know that Nse Ikpe Etim is Hollywood standard. For me, acting is beyond what you even say or what you do, or the. For me, it's a lot about the things that you don't say, the non-verbal expressions. And trust me, I would say that she nailed it, as expected. You know, even though of course Sharon was also good as well. I don't really have a worst act. If I'm to pick anything about that movie, I think is the storyline that was very, very um, what's the word now? Maybe Afazad. Like it was all over the place, right?
Yes, that's just the right
I
word. It
mean,
was all over the
you
place.
can if you want to, if you have not seen Glamour Girls, the only thing you need to do is go on Google and type Glamour Girls, and you can see the different headlines from different media platforms. So for example, we have one platform saying what exactly is the story about. I'm sure at the end of the day, a lot of people having watched the movie, they are like, you know that meme face that has this stance, bending your head like, what exactly just happened? So like you're at sea. Um, you have someone saying Glamour Girls will make you reconsider Nollywood movies, and all sorts, So I mean, the casting is good. Of course, production and everything is good. We know that over the years, Nollywood's standard has increased greatly when it comes to production. But I think one thing that we are really lacking is in terms of the stories. So we need to get, the best of writers. You need to write a good story, because the story is the foundation of everything, right? What is the story? At the end of the day, we're just saying, girls up and down doing, yeah. I mean, it's to be honest, it's just all over the place. I think the story is what missed, the point in the thing. But every other thing, of course, is as expected.
Every other thing as expected is like what? Like the casting and what again?
Basically, the
I think
casting.
okay. I think the story for me, was they had some scenes that was not needed for me, and you already okay. So I was comparing with the title Glamour Girls. Yeah, I was expecting something like when we saw Living in Bondage, we saw the glitz, we saw the glamour, we saw everything. The show off, as in the style, the money, everything. But I feel Glamour Girls was they held back on some things, and some scenes was not needed. Like the part where Sharon had to they went to the one drifting car park. I don't know what they went to go and do there. I feel like what was the essence of this part? What did they need? What was it? You get so truly yes. I believe that the storyline is where we get it wrong, but the casting also should have. I think someone like Toke Makinwa didn't embody the movie. She didn't. I don't know what she's doing in there.
Right. Look, Toke
No, no,
Makinwa is
no.
not an actor.
So sorry, but she has been in other movies, right? Like Sugar Rush. So if you are going to point out one reason why Glamour Girls is a bad movie, I don't think it's because of Toke Makinwa. Of course, not because I'm not saying that she did great, but I'm saying that fundamentally the storyline was terrible. You understand?
Yes, it
And
was.
the writing informs a lot of things. The story informs even the cast. That's why I said the story is the foundation. If the storyline is faulty, do you understand? Every other thing, could have issues as well. Because even the story from the story to the dialogue to everything. I mean, I really don't like making comparisons, but I mean, if you compare in terms of plots, in terms of twists, if you compare this to a KOB, for example, and in terms of dialogue and everything, it's nowhere, it's nowhere at all. So
You
I
can't
mean,
compare both.
there are there are movies that you watch, and then at the end of the day, you even have to pause at some point and say, okay, wow, you are connecting the dots as a viewer to say, okay, now I know why this happened. I know why this makes sense. But
Yes.
there is nothing to
Police,
connect here.
sorry, police, sorry to cut in. So that was why I was saying, like, I could not even get what the story was about. Like, I had to start skipping, and then I was wondering what is going on. And at the end of the day, we saw that part where they found the flash drive, and then again they gave it to the what's it called? The what's the man's name? That chief in camp. They gave him the
Yeah.
flash drive, then it was empty. Then they did that thing that this guy had this, he flashed, then she later put it. I mean, that scene wasn't
It
called
was
for. And
just
then at the end of the day, she had to, yeah, at the end of the day, Nse had to bring out one flash drive from her hair. Like, what does that really mean? I don't understand.
it means she was a fast mover. She moved, but I don't understand. My question is, they should have showed us where would have enjoyed some actually cool moves was showing us how Sharon maneuvered the flash drive back into Zeribe's pocket. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Showed us that kind of cool moves, like make it believable. But it just showed us that it's back in Zeribe's pocket. But how? How did it go? How did he do it? Understand? How did Donna had make that flash drive go into her head? Because the part where we saw they were ruffling her and the flash drive was on the table. How did it go to her head immediately? So there were some discrepancies there for me, yeah. But
Yes, a lot.
so
I mean, overall, it's good that this movie wasn't released in the cinemas because I can imagine you going to pay 5K, um, to
And then
watch
you
this
end
kind
up
of thing.
kind of
I
disappointment.
won't
You
be, I won't be, I won't be as friendly with this review as I am right now. So
as in, when you gotta use 5,000 naira to watch a
you
movie
need to
and
see
then
the
you end up
words.
disappointed.
You need to see the words people you are using to describe the movie online. Man, it's crazy. People are like,
Very,
hey,
no, no,
the
no.
reviews are very, very bad.
I can't go all out to bash creators because if you are a creator yourself, you know how difficult it can be, to
yeah,
make these things. It can be very, very difficult. Yeah. So, but I mean, everything we are saying at the end of the day is just to make something better. I mean, this doesn't take away the past works, the previous works that have come out of Charles of Play that were excellent, right? Um, but of course, consistency is very key. I just feel that you don't need to. I don't know because I know there's a lot of things that goes on back end, right? So it's possible that there are even people that they worked with on certain projects that maybe are not on this project. When I say people now, I'm not really talking about cast. I'm talking about back end.
Yes,
It might
yeah, I
have to do
yeah.
with
understand.
the writing. There are people. If you look at your very successful projects like LIB, Living in Bondage, is it possible that there are people that were very critical, that were very instrumental, to the entire success of that? So these are things to really, look out for.
I think
Of course,
I think I think the reviews that Glamour Girls is getting is based on the fact that people have put Play Networks in very, very high bar because
Yes,
of Living in Body,
yeah.
Rattlesnake. You understand? So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people went all out to watch this because it's Play Network. Yeah, we're gonna expect something good, and
Mm-hmm.
you're utterly
I mean,
dismayed.
imagine Kemedi Tiba, release something now and then it's a big flop. It's also going to be a challenge at the end of the day because now people
Are you
start thinking, okay, I can't really say ah, every of our works will be great. So it's also very important to maintain that consistency. It's not
Yes.
easy, to be honest. I know it's not easy. If you've read some of the tweets by maybe Ekunle Afolayan, for example, you know what these guys really have to go through to make movies in Nigeria. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I mean, I'm sure Netflix would have paid a lot, for that content.
But
Yeah.
funny enough, a bad movie with a lot of uproar everybody's going on about, they'll be getting their money because people are watching it still because they're getting their visibility, the advertisement and all. Again, people will go, okay, let me go and see for myself. Let me know how far. So, okay, based on what you have seen, you want to rate this movie from 1 to 10, how will you rate it? Can I start?
You said?
You want to rate the movie 1 to 10, what will you rate it? How many?
I'm I'm sorry, but I was very, very disappointed. I'll just have to give it a 1. Not that it even deserves it, that 1. Sir. I'll just have to give it a 1/10. Well, I'm a very big critic of Nigerian movies. Like, I'm not saying we don't make some good projects in Nigeria, but then when you see some movies, you really want the best out of it. We are not saying we want a Hollywood kind of movie, but like, let's be real, and at the same time, let's make something very original and authentic. I just have to give it a 1. It's just be below standard, just below. The writing was very, very, very bad. Like, I know they did pretty well with, like, let's say the casting and all, but Toke Makinwa wasn't, like, what was she even doing there? She is not an actor. Like, I would say it
Well,
again and again. Toke Makinwa is not an actor. Why is she even there? So in other projects that we've seen, she has just has this waka pass role. But yeah, they gave her like some
in
significant
Sugar
role,
Rush,
and then
in Sugar Rush, she didn't have a waka pass. So she actually did very well in Sugar Rush. If you watch Sugar
did
Rush, she
she?
actually did a very good job in Sugar Rush. Felicia, do you think otherwise? Did she not do better in Sugar Rush?
Polusha, what do you think?
Okay, I don't know what we're suddenly talking about, okay, but like I said, a movie is bigger than one person. Um, if a movie is doing badly, I know there are situations whereby one particular person can fall below par, right? But in this case, the token
It wasn't
factor
about.
is negligible, right? I don't even think she did bad, to be honest. I just think she's just being herself. I was not expecting anything. I was not expecting an irritated performance from a Toke Makinwa, So I usually look at people based on, okay, this is my expectation, right, from this person. I'm not expecting anything superb, But I mean, it's not like she had so much. Quite all right, she was very prominent. She was a prominent character in the movie, But at the same time, I just feel they say if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? Is the writing, the storyline that is the problem,
All right,
you
good.
know.
So, but rate
I would rate. I'll be. I'll give it a generous 3.5. Um,
generous 3.5. Wow.
yeah, over 10. Yeah. Because for me, it's about it's about the story. It's about the plot, the twists.
Mm-hmm.
This is zero as far as I'm concerned. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a big fan of dialogue. Right now, I'm watching um, Man versus Bee, you know, and I think it's something that we should check out on Netflix as well. That's Rowan Atkinson and Mr. Bean,
Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out. What did you the day before?
Same
So
day,
if you
same
if
day,
you
same day with
if you
Glamour
if you
Girls.
if you watch some movies, I mean the movie I watched, I think maybe that even made it worse for me. The movie I watched before Glamour Girls was The Man from Toronto, right? So Kevin Hart and this other guy. So the thing is, if you're a big fan of dialogue, right, and good writing, you know that this falls, below par. So it's better
Yes,
not to stress
I'm
it too
actually
much.
watching this movie. You don't know me, and I'm on the third episode now, and so far it's like I've not gotten to the end of the movie, but like there's a lot of dialogue. How this came to be, I don't know. Steven, have you seen the movie? You don't know me.
You don't know me. I'm not yet to see the movie yet.
Yes, but there's a lot of dialogue. So they didn't just come and then boom, they showed us this. So there was what's called a foundation. They showed us everything, and then there was dialogue. Like it was even very, very big on dialogue. They showed us the inception, and then they showed us a lot of things, and they told us how this came to be. And I've not even gotten to the end of the movie, but in my head, like I can picture, okay, this is how this movie will end.
All right, guys. The movie industry is still growing, and hopefully they'll get it right. And we're
Yes,
expecting the next work. We're expecting the next
Do you,
work
do
of
you
Limit.
do you know what even bust my head? Sorry to say.
Okay.
Sorry to take us back. I know that I mean Femi Branch. I've forgotten his name in the movie. Of course, the one that was now with
Sharon's
Sharon
benefactor.
at some point. So there was this scene where, of course, we saw him hearing Sharon moaning. Of course, he would have known that someone was smashing her, right, at that point. So, I mean, what happened afterwards? Because
Yes.
if you remember, there was now even a scene where he was telling her, let's go home. And she now said that part where, they actually caught them with the flash and all of that. And he was now saying, so, the whole thing just happened as if maybe uh, there are just a lot of gaps, right? So what happened between him hearing that, why was he not angry? Or maybe, I don't even know. So let's even say, of course, he's a bad guy. Did he still now, knowing, even if you're a bad guy, if you know that you're a security guy, was smashing
Right.
your own
Wow.
person. I mean, we're supposed to, I just feel that there are a lot of gaps.
Okay, but,
I know
but
that
that,
people were,
no, that part, I guess that was the part where he came in and told Zeribe that you have stolen before. That means he stole his girlfriend. I think that was the part where he was talking about you have stolen before.
yeah, I get it, but at the end of the day, for me, I don't think that, why did you have to wait till that time? You know,
Immediate
you are
I
action.
not, you are not,
and then where Toke's husband caught her in a room. Like we they just have us guessing what happened in that room,
yeah,
right?
we didn't even see that as well.
Yeah.
It's like
So
you
like
just
the
want to
man,
punish the viewers or what? I don't understand. Okay,
so
let us
you just
see.
have us guessing what would have happened in the room. We don't
Let us
even
see
know what
what
happened. We don't even know what we saw with her.
let's see what. And of course, I know that Nigerian movies are always conservative with sexual scenes and all of that. But
Yeah.
come on, for crying out loud, we can't just be depending on soundtrack to know that
I
it's a
think I
sex
think
scene.
I think that was one thing I was not happy about. Yeah, because if you want to show me a shower vibe, show me a shower vibes. Stop being conservative.
Really?
You get because okay, for example, what's the name of this movie that Kate Henshaw did with what's the name that was trending? So Blood
Blood
Sisters.
Sisters.
Blood Sisters.
Yes.
There was a part where they went to this I don't know, should I call it a religious home where those girls were fighting, and they were showing you that part because this is what is happening there. They are
Yeah. They
baiting.
showed us where they were having the bath, and then they showed their like some part of naked bodies and everything.
You get. But now we're not talking about glamour girls. Ashawo vibes, like packaged
Eh?
Ashawo. So was the
They're
main
not
thing.
giving us
But
I
that
don't
being
know.
conservative. No, that was
They're giving
not
us
it. I
low
was like,
budget
no.
shower vibes.
So so that
I,
was
I,
it though.
I mean, my own is we are not expecting you to be all out there like what's it called? No, Hollywood, right? When it comes to sex scenes. Even there are some Hollywood movies that they still show sex scenes, but it's not like they are showing people's reproductive organs, like we're watching
Yeah,
porn or something. No,
No,
right?
no.
But you can know that it's realistic. Do you understand? It might just be
yeah.
like maybe the focus on the face or the upper body, or if you look at, even if you bring it down home here with Blood Sisters, there was a part where it was Gabriel Afolayan and this what was her name
Exactly.
again?
Like
It
that.
was just like it was just like a silhouette. So so
Uh-huh.
so there are different things that you can do. But that sound of I think that one is even more irritating. The moaning sound, the part where what's her name? Nse Ikpe Etim now asked Sharon to come and sleep with her husband. And we're just
Uh-huh. We
hearing
were
pa
just
pa pa pa
hearing
pa.
only
Like if you are watching
asking.
that thing in your house with loudspeaker and someone passes by, they might think you're watching porn. They won't know that it's not like you're ever seeing anything. So
It's crazy, yeah.
so
But,
so
but, but,
it's
but
it's
I'm listening. I'm listening.
so I just think it's a big, it should be a big I don't know if I should call it learning curve now, because I'm sure that after seeing the reaction to this movie, I don't know a single person that has watched this movie and is happy with it. Like when I put up the status, like people were just replying me to say
Mhm.
total nonsense, blah blah blah. I know
Well, I don't know.
the
I've
reviews.
I've seen about 2 people that liked it. I said they say it's okay.
It's possible, yeah, but I mean, if you check the ratio, it's be really, really small. So
Yeah,
I guess
bad reviews were actually more.
after seeing this, they would. I think they would know that okay, or whatever thing that you're doing next, you really need to up your game. You really need to up your game. So that's just it, really.
And then
All right.
Felicia, I think one thing about Nollywood movies is that they are always in a haste to like do this thing and then put it out there and start making money off it. Like there is no proper budget for these movies, no proper research. Like when we watch, let's say for instance, we are watching movies like Doctors, and then we see that they have a lot of like in-depth knowledge about what they are doing. They show us real things and all. So I kind of feel like they need to do more about budgeting, number one, right?
Hmm.
For
I don't think it's a
movies that
budget
have,
issue.
I don't think if you
I
don't play network, I don't think it's a budget issue with playing networks.
I don't think it's a budget issue. So forget it's not even about playing networks
even
now.
time,
Um,
you see them having to do a movie and then under 3 months they are done, it's out there. So like when we have good movies that
but
are
we don't know
high
when
end,
they started now. Do we
we
know
don't
when
know
they
where they
started
started there,
working?
but I'm just saying generally, like that is what Nollywood movies like, where the flops are always from, like budget. I'm just saying, like in my own opinion, what I feel, you know.
Okay, I get
Mm,
you. I get you. That was
yeah,
the general assumption before. I don't think it's happening now. I think guys they have stepped up their game and they are really preparing and scheduling time to shoot movies.
Yeah,
So
there's still more room for change for them, and they what's it called? The industry is actually growing, so there's still more room for change.
all right, guys, thank you very much for your time and your opinions and feedback. Hopefully, we'll get a better work from them next. So we're looking out for the next movie. Thank you, guys, and
I'm
till
I'm
we.
not looking at.